Chile is one of the most earthquake-prone countries on the globe due to its location within the Ring of Fire and has well over 2,000 volcanoes, 90 of which are currently active. Today we will try 3 Chilean snacks in the hopes of an eruption of flavor in our mouths, so tasty that we will only stop eating in order to ask, "You tried that?" You tried that. Chile. I'm Nick Nowick, the pal Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hey there.
And join us again. I don't know if this is a 5-timers club, but we're getting close.
Hey.
Is our friend Chrissy. Chrissy, how are you?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good to be here.
Welcome back.
So you just went. Now, should we be saying Chile or Chile?
Yeah, good question. So Chad, friend of the podcast, Chad.
You used to make fun of me for that, actually. Yeah.
Well, we went through this dilemma of when you visit a country and you know it's pronounced one way in the mother tongue, but you sound like kind of a pompous ass saying it.
Yeah.
Or do you say it the generic American way and keep it real?
So what's the answer?
I have no answer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I still vacillate between the two.
Okay.
I feel like I tried to say it, Chile while I was there, talking to the Chileans. And then when you come back, you have to revert to shitty American. But I didn't initially, you know what I mean? So I came back and I was like, well, we were in Chile. And then Chrissy's like, you sound like a fucking idiot, which I did.
You also didn't have to change how your voice sounds when you say it. We're in Chile. Now, Chrissy, did anyone while you were there call it chile?
That they did not, but whenever it's written, It is very hard not to read it as child.
Also, a quick correction. I just looked it up. This is actually Chrissy's 6th appearance on the
podcast. Wow. Chrissy 6 times.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Okay.
So to understand that you have a dilemma or something you wanted to pose to us about this vacation.
Yeah. So just thinking about the vacation time. It's actually been a couple of months since I got back, but I was a little bit slow on the post office delivery of your snacks. But thinking about what happened on our trip and what might make an interesting story, I just wanted to pose a scenario to the 3 of you and see how normal people or you would react.
Okay, so you also said scenario. Is that kind of a pompous thing or what?
Is that how they say it down in Chile? Scenario.
Oh, you want me to say it Midwestern style? So the scenario?
Yeah. Scenario.
The scenario. Down by the gas station.
So I went down and I had gotten a lot of tips from Chad and his wife about going down there and wanted to do go to Patagonia and do this multi-day hike, which is famous worldwide and it's an exceptionally beautiful hike.
The Torres del Paine.
Yeah.
That's the one,
yeah,
right?
The W trek. So it's 70 miles in 5 days. Beautiful, but also pretty laid back, just a really nice trip to do.
It's a kind of hike that I can actually do, so it's not that hard.
It's 2 feet long.
It's completely flat the entire way.
No, you actually you just sit there outside the mountain range and then you boot up a Nintendo and walk a character through the trail. That's how I was able to do it.
You riding on some poor Sherpa's back of the entire hike.
Even I can do this. The Sherpa's like, fuck you.
So I went with my partner, my man friend, and he is not a big hiker. This is not something he's ever done anything like it before. So there's a couple different ways of doing it. I think Chad, you guys did it pretty hardcore, camping, carrying all your stuff, food, all of that jazz, right?
Yeah, we did camp, but they have an option there where it's you don't have to bring a tent with you. They will have a tent at each campsite for you, and then they give you the food and stuff. But they also have bed options where you can rent an actual bed inside of a building, which that we did not do. We did the tents.
Yeah, so we did a combo platter.
Did you have to set up the tent or people set it up for you? How much of work did you actually do on this hike?
They set up the tent for you. I did not have to set that up. It was mostly just walking inside, collecting the food for the next day or whatever. But there was an incident on the 5th day at the last stop outside this place called Glacier Gray, where that night it was all windy and very rainy. and like we were in the tent, and I was so cold, and then the wind like blew the tent, like collapsed it onto us. And like I remember being like so pissed because I had to like get up out in the cold, and like my wife said later I was just like cursing. I was like, I hate camping, I hate the wind, I hate tents, I'm never fucking doing this again. Like this was like all pissed off about it.
You had to actually get off your ass at some point, stop eating Oreos, and set a tent up.
Pretty much.
You had to get up off your ass and go yell at the Sherpa to fix your tent.
That's the thing. There's no Sherpas there. No Sherpas in Chile, so we had to do it ourselves. So you did the bed option, Chrissy? Is that what I'm assuming?
We did a combo. So I wanted to do a couple of beds because I was a little nervous about how my partner would do. But we did have a night of camping in Gray's Glacier where you went, but we had perfect weather and no wind, and it was a very peaceful, relaxing night.
Nice.
But our first night was on the other side, and we were in a dormitory. So along this trail, there's like hostels set up, and so yeah, like Chad said, you can pop your own tent, you can stay in tents that are already pitched, or you can stay inside in a dormitory, and it's sort of like wherever you've been assigned is where you have to sleep.
So, like, you're not even guaranteed, like, the two of you to have a bed near each other or anything like that.
Yeah,
right?
you're as like a twosome, but you don't know if you're going to be a room of two, which we had one night, or this particular night we were in a room of 8 bunk beds.
No, thank you. No.
So, Chad, did they say we're all out of beds, and then they pointed to a collapsed tent? Like, God damn
it! Yeah.
Chad just shoves a handful of Oreos in his mouth and stomps off.
Fine.
No, we were actually like we thought that like by doing the tents that meant that we were like hardcore hikers, you know what I mean? Like, no, we don't need beds. We're going to sleep in tents. But like we're half-assing it because we weren't carrying the tent. We weren't like cooking our own food or anything like that. So we were just posers basically.
But you were still saying Chile.
Yeah. I'm hiking in Chile with my tent.
Sleeping in a tent sucks ass. It's not fun. It's not comfortable. My back feels like I've been punched all night when I wake up. No, thank you.
But were those beds any comfortable or no?
Yeah, I mean, so the beds were comfortable. The concern was we had hiked 16 miles that day. It had been like a mega hike. We'd done the classic like Patagonia hike. You Google it and you see this beautiful image of this green mountain lake with these monoliths behind it. We had like hustled all day. So we were exhausted. And we're in this room with some strangers and everybody sort of awkwardly packing their gear and unpacking it. And you tromp off to the bathroom and brush your teeth with a bunch of strangers. And you think, I paid how much money for this as a 40-something-year-old to brush my teeth next to a bunch of strangers? And we get back into the bed and I see the guy in the bunk across from me, an American guy, probably like early 50s. He was there with his couple of teenage kids, his wife. Pleasant. We exchanged some pleasantries, and I see him take a pill before he goes to sleep. And I'm like, oh shit, that's a sleeping pill. And sure enough, within 2 minutes of the lights out, the man is snoring like a chainsaw. What do you do?
Smother him.
Yeah.
2 birds, 1 stone.
You got any collapsed tents out there? Anyone collapsed tent?
I mean,
Collapsed tent and a shovel.
well, what real choices you have, right? 'Cause you're not going to wake up a stranger who's snoring. You're actually probably lucky there's only one snorer in the place.
Are you not?
Did you wake him up?
I very much considered it. You know, you're tired, you're physically tired, you're mentally tired, and the guy just is snoring, and you know that this guy is not going to wake up unless you intervene. So would any of the 3 of you step in and maybe do a little shoulder shake?
You mean, is your plan to wake him up and then quickly turn and make him not think that you woke him up? Or like say, hey, sir, you're snoring. Can you please stop?
I mean, that's the question. That's what I'm floating past you. I'll tell you what I did, but I'm curious what you degenerates would do.
Did you have any whipped cream that you could put in his hand and then like tickle his nose? Did you do that?
That did not make it into our packs.
It's a good hiking snack, I heard. Taking whippets from a whipped cream can.
This is definitely one of the reasons why we opted for the tent option, was because we were terrified of being stuck in a room with like, loud people, or like, this people with, I don't know, bed bugs or something like that. I don't know. We were like, we don't want to be around anyone else. I probably would have brought earplugs and just put those in. Like, I don't think I could bring myself to wake up somebody that's snoring, especially if they're with like their like you said, he's with like a family or something. It should be like the family's job to wake his ass up. Maybe you say something to like his wife or kids or whatever, like, hey, control your boy over here, something like that.
Yeah, had earplugs, had eye mask, like had everything completely fully loaded. And yet this guy, it was so loud, it was reverberating throughout the room. And I'm pretty sure the medication he had taken was an Ambien, because the guy was out.
Did you say you brought an eye mask? Like one of those like sleeping things? Like you're like, all right. Yeah, you're really roughing it, huh? Yeah. Excuse me, madame, I'm in Chile.
What I think I would do is I would take 2 sleeping pills and be like, let's do this. And I would out-snore this guy.
You put your eye mask over his mouth.
I am concerned about that scenario because I have been told I snore now. I don't know. I never used to. My wife says I do. I don't think I snore like an ogre like this guy was, but I have like, it's a heavy breathe kind of thing. So I would be self-conscious I couldn't wake him up, because then like I'd be like, quit. I can't get to sleep with you snoring, and I turn around and go, like myself, I look like a kind of a hypocrite. And I'm not confrontational, and I also am someone like, once I'm asleep, I'm just asleep. You can't really wake me up, so I probably wouldn't have been as bothered maybe as someone else. And if you're that tired, like if I've been hiking 16 hours, you might just put a jackhammer next to my bed and I'll still fall asleep. I don't think I'd have a problem as much as
you would be face down in the trail somewhere.
I would have fallen asleep in the brook, just like face down, fish flopping on my back. This was kind of a mistake. Look at the beautiful Patagonia. That guy's dead.
You're 7 miles back.
He never made it past mile 2. Just leave him there.
Guy who was begging for a collapsed tent around mile 2.
Instead, he's just got a collapsed lung.
So how much sleep did you get?
Well, so what we ended up doing is we sort of looked at each other. We did the like, what are you going to do? And you're really on the precipice of like, do I wake this guy up? Do I start screaming at him? You're never going to see him again. So like, do you put it all on the line for a good night's sleep?
There's no middle ground. You got screaming in his face.
No, you're talking about sleep with somebody who's passed out snoring. So I don't think a gentle like, excuse me,
he's
sir.
on an Ambien. He's gonna think you're like a banshee from his dream or something. He's not gonna. Who is that ghoul?
Yeah, so we ended up taking our sleeping bags and going out into the common room of the hostel, and my partner slept on a couch, and I pulled the cushions off the couch and slept on the floor.
Wow, it was better to sleep in the common room than to sleep with this guy.
Yeah,
and to sleep with a commoner.
Wait, your partner slept on a cushionless couch?
No, he slept on the couch because he was okay, like sort of squishing him into a love seat. But I need to sleep like completely prone, so I took the cushions off the couch and laid on the floor.
You sleep in like a Dracula coffin, just like like a bullet. Just
like the luge.
Oh, check out that guy over there. He brought a real doll on the trip. That's kind of fucking weird. I'm kidding, but yeah. But did you actually sleep? Were you able to get to sleep? Because I think that'd be worse for me. I don't think I could sleep like that.
I got about 3 hours of sleep that night. Yeah, it was a rough one.
Did you then have to hike again, like another 16 miles, or was it?
Yeah, no, it was a good. I don't remember the next day, 9 miles, something like that. Oof. But yeah. Wow. I was just curious how a group of nice Midwestern boys would have handled that same situation.
By not handling it properly, for me. I would just ignore it and power through.
It is kind of funny. Like Geiger passed out at mile 2, but the real doll still made it to mile 3. So that's how bad Geiger's out of shape.
Well, to be fair, that thing has like batteries and servos and stuff. It's not really.
All right, let's sample some of the wares from Chile.
Sample the wares.
Yeah, so it's always fun to get you guys some stuff, and
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you go to the grocery store and you're just staring at a big like rack of stuff that you don't know. Like you sort of make the debate: do I go like really like crappy stuff, which I've certainly done for you guys before, is send the stuff that I know you're not going to like.
Yeah.
And this time I tried to pick out things that I thought would at least be palatable.
This time, because you planned on eating them with us, you got stuff you want to eat.
Right.
We've got 3 snacks. Rate them on a 5-point scale: love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. Let's start with the Chilean Ambien. We're gonna have some of those. No, let's start with the Alfajor.
Alfajor.
The Alfajor.
The Alfajor.
Is there a story behind this one, or are these you just all picked them out because of they look decent?
This one is actually a very classic South American sort of cookie, and so I don't think you all have ever tried this before. So this was the one I picked out. Like, no matter what, I'm sending an Alfajor to y'all.
Alfajors is like, it's a very classic, like she said, like Chilean snack. There's dulce de leche in the middle, which they call manjar in Chile. And when we were there, actually, there was like a guy that was like, we were staying at some hotel like in the desert, and like our hotel owner guy is like, he's like this wild old man that just wears nothing but suspenders, and he's like, do you want to learn how to make it? And we're like, all right, so like, yeah, let's make it. But it turns out the way you make it is he just took a pot over the stove and he poured like 2 whole gallons of milk into the pot. And then he's like, all right, now stir this for 4 hours.
He handed you the spoon and said that?
Yes. And so like, through a translator, he didn't speak English. And so like are
you sure that's what he said?
Yeah. So my wife and I took turns. Like, she stirred for an hour and like I stirred for an hour.
You're dead serious? You did this shit?
Yeah, we did this, and then we ended up with like a whole jar full of dulce de leche that we then carried with us and like snacked on for the rest of the trip. It was fucking delicious, but it was also obnoxious as shit.
He saw you coming a mile away. I'm gonna have these people make my dulce de leche for me.
He was actually pretty cool because he like made like while we were doing that, he like made some fresh oysters for us, and then like roasted up some like delicious meat and shit. So
now do you have anything for my carpal tunnel?
Yeah, I definitely did not expect like, hey, you're gonna be stuck in front of this fucking stove for half the day now.
Nothing quite goes with oysters like caramel.
Yeah,
what a combo.
It tastes like some big old Midwestern guy sweating this thing for 2 hours.
It's essentially just like a very dense form of caramel with the biscuit in the middle and then covered in chocolate. But
is there like
a coconut
or something?
Smell or something? Yeah,
it tastes kind of rummy to me. It says bitter and leche. Leche is the caramel, right? Or milk, technically, right?
Mm-hmm. This does taste a little bit. So there's lots of brands of these that I tried, and this one does taste a little bit different. There's something else in there. I'm not sure what.
All right, Chrissy, you're going to start us off here. What do you think of Alfajor?
Yeah, so I didn't try this beforehand. I did have a different kind of Alfajor that I brought back for my work team that honestly was a little bit more tasty, even though this is supposed to be artisanal, which is why I picked it for you all, because who's more artisanal than guys who eat handy snacks on podcasts? There is some sort of weird aftertaste to this. I also can't put my mouth on it, so to speak. So generally, I really like this kind of cookie because it's biscuit, it's caramel, it's chocolate, so it's all good things to like. But this just, the bitter part, I think, is throwing me off. So halfway through the cookie, I'm going to have to just say an indifferent to that. It's not really rocking my world, but it has enough of the core ingredients that I really like that I would say it lands right in the middle.
All right. Geiger, Alfajor is the name of your real doll, right?
I was literally about to say this is more of a beta whore than an alpha whore.
What do you think of it?
Yeah, that real doll kicks the shit out of me too. Alpha as fuck. I was looking forward to this one the most. It looked like a really delicious snack cake. I like caramel and chocolate a little bit together. I think I'm in the same boat as Chrissy. I did eat the whole thing, and it is substantial. It's like a thick hockey puck, or I guess a hockey puck. But whatever that bitter, rummy, coconutty flavor is that we all kind of can't put our finger on, it just kind of turned me off to it too. So I'll say it wasn't bad by any means, but I think I would have liked to just taste straight up de leche instead of whatever that bitter part was. So I'll say indifferent as well.
All right, Chad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple South American like restaurants and like little markets and stuff around here that also sell alfajors, and all of those ones that I've tried, I think are better than this. It's I want a little bit more crunch from it, and again, like you guys said, there's like this weirdish aftertaste. It's just a little off-putting for some reason. But there are still some things to like. I was actually considering a dislike that, but I'm going to squeak it just barely into a level of different as well.
Okay, everybody said what needed to be said. It reminds me, the texture reminds me a lot of like a moon pie.
A little bit.
And it's just, if this is not quite a great version of one, I do think there's probably, I believe when you say that there's other flavors and versions that taste good, because I can sense that.
Good, because it wasn't a fucking lie, asshole.
I usually believe you, but I'm going to this time. So we're going to have a 4-way lazy electioneer. So full agreement there on the first snack. Let's go next to the Vizzio. This is the brand is Costa Vizzio. What's the translation underneath? Do we know?
Almonds covered with chocolate. Yeah.
Okay.
And Déjame Uno is leave me one.
Oh.
So I chose these specifically because
Geiger's allergic.
Appreciate it.
Oh shit!
It's okay. He'll eat it.
Hey, I was gonna die face down on that stream anyway, so
I haven't seen you asphyxiate yet, and I figured why not now?
Yeah, it looks much better on camera.
So I picked these out, A, because Geiger's allergic, and B, because McDonald's, y'all are familiar with the McDonald's McFlurry.
Sure.
yeah.
And so in different countries, of course, they use whatever local sort of trendy candy to make their McFlurry. And this was the big McFlurry advertised on buses and billboards and at McDonald's. I didn't actually eat one, but I thought, okay, this has enough of like a national relevance that I'm not just picking a snack at random. This is actually something that people choose and seek out. So that's the story behind this one.
Okay.
I like how you paused after you asked if we're familiar with McDonald's McFlurry. Just let us keep some dignity.
Excuse me, I've not come across this in all my travels in Chile. I'm such a man of the world.
I had a McDonald's milkshake like 2 days ago for the first time since childhood.
How was it?
Kind of sucked. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It's like not a good milkshake. It just tastes like McDonald's. But I haven't had the McFlurry. Is the McFlurry good? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know what's wrong with the McDonald's milkshake, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's not artisanal enough for me.
Yeah, I guess.
Chad, you've never had a McFlurry?
Probably as a kid. I never eat at
No,
McDonald's.
they didn't exist when we were kids.
Oh, okay, then no, I haven't.
It's just ice cream.
Yeah. Blizzards are better. I mean, Blizzards are way better. It's clearly they're like cribbing off the Blizzard, but
yeah, I mean, if I want fast food ice cream, I would rather go to DQ.
Mm-hmm.
But why didn't you go to DQ for your milkshake?
Well, we actually don't have any DQs near me. But I did. I also got a because I was having some I had an issue where I couldn't eat anything except for like milkshakes last weekend. Anyways, so I had I got a McDonald's.
It's called
milkshake.
a weekday.
I'm saying me too. Yeah, me too.
So I had a McDonald's milkshake, I got a Carl's Jr. milkshake, and I got a Jack in the Box milkshake, all within like quick succession of each other.
Who won?
McDonald's was the best one, and I think Jack in the Box was the worst. But they were
All
all
chocolate?
just like no vanilla all around.
Oh.
Who lost? Your heart.
Yeah, I did eat. I ate the Jack in the Box and the Carl's Jr. one back to back because they were like across the street, and I hadn't eaten anything.
Lord.
I hadn't eaten anything all day. I had not eaten a single thing all day, and I'm like, I can only eat milkshakes.
I would brown out the eastern seaboard. The ocean's tide would rise 2 inches when I was done with those two things. Holy shit. Back to back. So that's got to be, well, you consumed like 2,000, 3,000 calories in like half an hour?
I mean, maybe, yeah.
And you're like, oh, these aren't very good.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Do you have your tonsils out? What
No, I had my kid gave me hand, foot, mouth disease.
Now you have heart, lungs, kidney disease.
All right, Chad, what do you think of this thing?
You know, this thing's pretty good, actually. I'm not normally like that big of an almond fan here, but I think this is high quality chocolate. I think this chocolate tastes good, and you know, the almond's not too bad. Would this be better with a peanut inside? Yes, of course it would be. But the flavor here is good. It's a good size, a nice form factor here, very poppable. I think this is solid. We're gonna give it a like that.
All right, Chrissy, what do you think?
Yeah, totally agree. It's the chocolate's good. The almonds are fresh, even though the candy's not so fresh since it's been a few months since I got back. But yeah, it's a solid choice. It's a right size bag. It's good chocolate. It's good almonds. Yeah, solid like that for me too.
It does. The chocolate is good. I think the almond would be better with like half an almond. I think it's too much almond in there. I like candies with almonds. Like I really like Hershey's with almonds. The one candy I don't like an almond in is a Jordan almond. And this like the almond in there reminds me a little bit of it. But it's not enough to totally tank it. I'm going to give it a low level like that. So 3 like that's. Geiger, you on board?
Yeah, look, again, I can't really eat almonds that well, but I like the flavor, and the chocolate's really good. I
eat them that well?
I can't eat them that well. And I'm a good eater, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
how many did you have?
How many they got? No, about half the bag.
You ate more than me, and I'm not allergic.
How allergic are you?
It's not like I told you, I'm not going to die. It just makes my throat close up a little bit, and it is.
Yeah, that leads to death. So, that's
No, it helps me eat less because I can't fit the food in anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you can fit in milkshakes.
Yeah, you have to have milkshakes. 2 at a time.
I'll use almond milk.
Double fist those fast food milkshakes.
I'm gonna get one of those like hats with the 2 beer cans on the side of the straws. It's just gonna be milkshake.
Oh, hey, these are pretty shitty.
Carl's Jr. make a terrible milkshake. Give me 3.
I feel like you're allergic to almonds the way like Real Housewives are allergic to like gluten or something. You know, like as if not really.
It's not of all my allergies. Almonds are like the least strong one. Like it's worse if I eat like certain fruits and stuff. But
the Real Husbands of Saukville.
The Real Husbands of Saukville. Very much allergic to fruit and vegetables. Trust me.
Anything that has vitamins.
yeah. Remove that garnish from my plate. Yes, this is. I'll give it a like that. I think it tastes good. I agree the almond is too big, but it still is a decent snack. And if I was slightly less allergic, I'd eat the whole thing.
Okay, 4 likes. That's a welcome visitor, and we have full agreement on a 4-person episode.
Incredible.
This is unheard of so far. So we'll see if after the segment, the Super Manny can get it done.
Super 8 2.0 Manny. Or whatever the fuck it is.
All right. We didn't have to do work this week because Chrissy has a segment for us.
Hell yeah.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, I have to redeem myself because the last time I was on y'all show, my segment didn't go so well. We did an international sandwich.
That's not true.
You made fools of us. You exposed us for the rubes we had.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be about Spanish sandwiches, is it? Because I don't know a thing about.
There is nearly a jamon iberico in the quiz. You're good. So I kept it a little bit simple, just again to redeem myself from maybe making things a little too complicated last time around. Mm-hmm. And this is a quiz I got from another podcast I listened to that they call Brad Pitt or Lasers.
Bread fit or lasers? What?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, who likes to visit Chile.
Where will the bread fit?
Does my enunciation help you now, Chad?
Yes, there we go. Much better, much better.
So this is a simple timeline sort of quiz. So in the quiz in this trivia podcast that I listened to, which came first, Brad Pitt or lasers? So they've done many iterations of this, of you having to tell me what came first. And of course, Snacking Podcast, we're going to do a food version of which came first, Brad Pitt or lasers.
Okay, got it.
Good?
Lasers.
Simple rules?
Is the answer always Brad Pitt or lasers?
Oh, that wasn't a question. Oh, okay.
That's a question.
We're going to discuss Brad Pitt versus lasers for half an hour.
20 minutes. Go.
Versus lasers.
Which one of those did come first before we start?
Yeah, to get warmed up. What do y'all think? Brad Pitt or lasers?
It's gotta
is your
be
warm-up
lasers.
question?
Lasers, for sure, lasers.
Yeah, lasers.
Isn't lasers, that's a pretty generic term, right? It applies to many things.
Yeah, dinosaurs had lasers. Come on. What are we talking about here?
We all think lasers, are we right?
You are all correct, but only by a margin of 3 years.
Really?
Right.
So lasers are officially sort of invented in the year 1960. Brad Pitt born in 1963.
Really? How old is Brad Pitt?
Oh, fuck.
He's like 60?
2023 minus 1963.
Yeah, okay, clearly I can't do that. Just tell me.
I guess he's going to be 60 this year.
Yeah.
What an
60 years
old
old,
bitch.
yeah.
Man,
yeah, lasers are old.
Still looking great. I still want to fuck that laser.
Oh, now we learned how to pitch a tent.
All right,
All
so
right,
Chad, I'm going to keep score, but I'm not very good at your segment, so maybe I need you as a backup, huh?
Okay.
For
Yeah,
scorekeeping?
I'll keep score. Sure. Pencil right here.
Okay, so first question. Which came first? Peanut butter or sliced bread?
Brad Pitt.
And we'll get an answer from each of you and then total up the points at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is where bread fit comes in.
Yeah. Or does Brad fit in the timeline?
Who's going? Chad, you go.
Yeah, okay. My first inclination here is to say the bread, because I don't know, just bread feels like it's something that's been around for like a really, really long time. I feel like peanut butter maybe a little more recent. So yeah, I will go with bread here. Bread for me.
It's sliced bread, Chad, to clarify.
Yeah, but I mean, they had knives in like the fucking Stone Age.
So are we talking about prepackaged sliced bread or like someone slicing a loaf of bread for the first time?
You're talking about bread arriving in your vicinity in the sliced form.
Right. Okay. I.e. the greatest thing since.
Yeah, I mean, someone in
Caveman.
the Middle Ages had to take a sharp edge to a loaf of bread, right?
Yeah, but they might have also like stepped on a handful of peanuts and then like, there you go.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah. Sir Lancelot pulled the sword from the stone and started hacking some bread up.
I think bread fits before peanut butter too, so I'm gonna go with bread.
Make it 3 for bread. Peanut butter's got to be more recent, I would think.
Okay, no points for this round.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
So
What's the point of peanut butter with no bread to put it on?
Yeah.
peanut butter originally invented in powdered form, so you had to add liquid like water or milk to it in 1884. Sliced bread came around in 1928.
No, not true. Because you had bread, and back in the medieval times, you just had to add a knife into it, and make sliced bread.
When did bread start? Right? Probably way before that.
I'm pretty sure dinosaurs were slicing bread with their lasers.
When did bread start?
Somebody applied a wedge to a piece of bread and cut it in two.
points.
Great.
Okay.
So this segment is going very similarly to
Yeah.
the last one.
Glad we brought you back.
Come on here and make us look like dipshits.
Okay, next one. Which came first, hamburger or hot dog?
So in the medieval times, somebody smashed some cow meat.
Sir Plumper made the first hot dog.
I feel like the process to make a hot dog is more complicated because you have to like sausage it up like a casing, like you gotta like look down at your penis and be like, all right, that's what it's gonna look like, that sort of thing.
What?
What?
For your inspiration, But whereas a burger is just like, yeah, you just you chop it up, you put it in a thing. So I will go burger.
I feel like that has to be it, right? Because
It's probably a trick
you get beef, right, and you cook it like someone mashed up beef and cook it.
Yep, that's
Hot dog.
That's
We
how you
still
do it.
don't know what is in a hot dog, right? No one actually knows what's in a hot dog. So did something that was cooked long time ago just be put into a sausage form and they called it a hot dog? I don't think so. I think hamburger came first.
okay. For the exact reason you just mentioned, Novak, I'm going to take hot dog only because sausages have existed for a long time, a way to cure meat and preserve it. And I think hot dogs are kind of like a mashup of all the undesirable parts of the animal, right? It's like it basically just mashing all the lips and assholes together.
Yeah, it's
and
pig
so
ass, yeah.
it's probably a way back and then to not waste any food. So I'm going to say
assholes?
it's full of fucking assholes. Bunch of nipples and teats and assholes and innards and horns. So I'm going to take hot dog.
Lips and assholes for the win, everyone.
Wow.
1 point Geiger. Hot dogs, 1870. Hamburgers first recorded in 1896.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. So these are all the opposite of what I think. Great. We'll keep that in
Next
mind.
one. Which came first, French fries or potato chips?
Okay, you want to go this time?
Okay. Not really, though.
You are Mr. Chip.
I am Mr. Chip. I guess, how exacting were the knights' swords back in the day? Could they slice them into chip size in the medieval times? I'm not sure. I think Sir Dorito of Elgintown came along. Potato chips or fries? I'm gonna say fries only because I feel like fried potatoes have just been around forever. I would guess that like George Washington ate a fried potato, whether they called it a French fry or not. Probably not, because they just got done fighting the French or whatever. But
They called them freedom fries back then, I think.
they call them yeah, I think so. I'm gonna call it for a French fry for me.
So in my head, the chips would have come first, and so since, as Chad mentioned, the opposite seems to be true, I'm going to go with French fries.
So I'm the opposite. I feel like French fries would have come first, which means potato chip.
All right. Chad, you out. That's 1 point for Geiger, 1 point for Novak.
Like I'm out of the segment.
Leave the podcast.
Point, man.
We have a new co-host.
Chrissy was playing you for your spot.
The whole time. French fries, first recorded in 1680. Potato chips came along much later in 1853.
That's not even close.
That's a bizarre one.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Now, did they have curly fries back then too? Or no?
Good question.
I'd have to do further research.
Crinkle cut? They're using their big sword to make the crinkles.
But in the UK, the French fries are called chips, so...
Yeah, that's confusing. Point of order.
Yeah.
Oh boy, these segments. No wonder you guys don't want to even do them with each other, much less have a guest do them. All right, this one I feel like is right in line with You Tried Dat.
Well, now you get the real doll or something else.
Or a real woman.
Which came first, real doll or snoring? Which one?
All right, which came first, Hostess or Little Debbie?
Oh,
So You Tried
this
Dat
is
classic options.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this is interesting because Little Debbie feels like the Hostess ripoff, but this could be like an Oreo Hydrox situation where Hydrox came first. I hope that's not one of your questions. I'll say Little Debbie.
Geiger?
Hostess or Little Debbie? I don't really have much context for either one. I'll say Hostess just to shake it up.
Chad seems to be wrong most of the time. Little Debbie is made to look like it came first.
It
right?
looks old as shit, right? Yeah, and it tastes old as shit, but
But Chad did say, you said Little Debbie? I'll go.
I don't know. Debbie on there is Debbie on there is pretty young, so maybe like it's pretty recent. She hasn't aged at all.
Hey, calm down.
Easy.
Novak, what'd you say in the end?
I said Hostess.
Okay. Point for Novak, point for Geiger. We've got a theme going here.
fucking damn.
Come on, Chad.
Hostess, 1919, Little Debbie, following much later in 1960.
1960. But she's still 18 plus, so that's okay.
Middle-aged Debbie.
All right, next one. Which came first, Snickers bar or the Milky Way bar?
I think Milky Way came first. I'm going to go on. I'm thinking of like, we talked about it at some point, that like Three Musketeers was named as the third of the like main bars they have. And I felt like Milky Way maybe was one of those.
And hardtack.
So I'm going to say it was hardtack, Milky Way, and then Three Musketeers, right? Those.
Salted cod, Snickers.
So I'm going Milky Way.
Well, the actual Milky Way before all these, we know that, thanks to science.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. More than some. Before
there was
even
an alien
Snickering.
who kind of made like a little bit of a laugh, though. So that was he came first.
Meet more. Meet more. How old is Debbie? Asking for a meet more friend. I am also going to say Milky Way. I feel like Novak's right. Chad, what's your gut say?
I mean, even just looking at the progression, right? Like the Snickers is more complicated. You know, like you have you feel like you would have the simpler ingredients first, and then like you keep adding more stuff later. So yeah, I think I remember that like Milky Way was what Novak was saying about the Three Musketeers. I think I remembered that too. So I will also make ass out of myself and say Milky Way.
All right, tell us why we're wrong.
Why is it Snickers?
It is Milky Way. Well done, boys.
Yeah, all right. There you go, Chad.
Your boy's on the board.
Yeah. Well, catching
what do you
up
think
to
of your segment now, huh? How about that?
All right, next one. Which came first? Gonna go a little bit away from snacks, more towards the restaurant industry. Which came first, Subway or Taco Bell?
Oof.
Geiger, you.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the man who would know this.
Now you set me up feel like an asshole either way. Either I'm a fucking Taco Bell historian or I'm a dipshit.
When Geiger was born, they said, we need to invent Taco Bell for him.
When I pre-shit my pants as a young Billy. I do think it's Taco Bell. I feel like they're like the older iconography. Subway's, and maybe it's just me, I feel like Subway's just boomed in our lifetime. Like I remember Taco Bell seems like it's been around since before I was born, but Subway just seems like it's something I only really started noticing even like in middle school and high school. So I'm going to go with Taco Bell.
Jen?
Yeah, I know that Subway is like the biggest chain in terms of like number of restaurants or whatever, but I agree with Geiger. I feel like that's all thanks to our good friend Jared helping them blow up.
Our close personal friend Jared.
My pen pal Jared.
He's asking a lot of weird, intimate questions about Little Debbie. I don't quite understand.
But I will say Taco Bell. I feel like Taco Bell's been around for a while.
Yeah, even though there was probably a medieval Jared, who walked across the plains every day to get a sandwich.
He's just holding up his old giant chainmail, and now he's in a smaller chainmail.
I'm gonna agree with the guys.
Well done, guys. Good logic. Taco Bell. Yeah, 1962.
Yes. Right.
Subway, though, logic, I guess you're based on your childhood in Saukville, Geiger, isn't exactly a bellwether.
We had a Taco Bell. That was it. I'm not kidding.
But Subway followed just behind in 1965.
Subway was beaten out by cows, pastures, and Taco Bell. That's all I know.
Okay, we're going to go to a holiday question. Which came first, pumpkin pie or pecan pie?
Ooh, that's tough.
Ooh, well,
maybe not. Okay, I'll go. I think it's pecan pie. The only reason why I think it wouldn't be pumpkin because it feels like the process to get pumpkin in its like smashed up form is hard. Like you have to grind it and mush it and blend it. Like you need tools. I guess you could mash it in a bowl or something.
You need tools.
You know, like they had in the Stone Age.
Yeah. No, that's why I think it's pecan pie because like all you need to do is make the leche. You just got a bowl and a pot and a really strong arm to stir it for 4 hours, and then
You need tools.
Okay, pecan pie. I don't need to fucking tell you why.
Fucking Ugg in there, just like smashing up a pumpkin with a stone club.
Yeah, Ugg was making pecan pie too. Come on now.
You say he was.
I think Ugg
was
with a
pre-tools.
Pre-tool era. You don't need an oven. You just lay a bunch of pecans on the ground, and they come back and they turn into a pie.
You're gonna shell all those pecans without a tool? Come on, you need a tool to shell pecans. Everybody knows this.
He got the tool part right.
Geiger's have you been right every time?
I've not missed yet.
Geiger hasn't missed.
I'm gonna miss this time, I think.
Except the very first one.
Mm-hmm. I think he's been exposed as a fraud with that tool comment.
It's not about Taco Bell. We didn't have any pumpkin pie in Saukville until 1997, so I don't really know.
Until there was the Taco Bell pumpkin pie taco.
Pumpkin pie Bel Grande.
So I'm gonna go with pumpkin pie. Chad?
Well, I actually agree with Geiger, not because of his dumbass fucking logic
It's
about
the tools. It's the tools.
But I feel like pecan pie it's like a southern, it's big in like the South or whatever, and like pumpkin pie is more of like a, I don't know, like a fancy pants kind of pie. I don't know. It just feels like.
Excuse me.
A fancy pants pie.
All them highfalutin billionaires and their pumpkin pies.
Chile just rife with pumpkin pie.
Caviar and pumpkin pie.
Oysters with chocolate.
Only Bill Gates and like Elon Musk can afford the tools to make a pumpkin pie.
3D printed one.
Pecan pie just feels older to me. I'll go pecan.
Okay, well, point to Novak.
Oh, damn.
Pumpkin pie 1796. Pecan pie, depending on the recipe, somewhere between 1824 and early 1900s.
Wow, both post tools. All right.
But the tools.
I stand by my statement.
All right, current standings. I think, Chad, you're helping me keep score, but I think I've got it. Is Novak 5, Geiger 5, and you not so many.
Yeah, I have 2, I think.
You've got 2.
Your score came before 5.
Yeah.
My score is pre-tools. Let's put it that
way. All right, next question. Which came first, Famous Amos or Chips Ahoy?
Famous Amos is another one that's made to look old, Little Debbie style. But Amos is an old ass name.
Yeah, Amos is of age. We know that.
Then why did you bring these wine coolers?
Do you know who I am, Mr. Amos? You're even more famous than me.
Chips Ahoy.
But on Pornhub, the category said Amos 18 plus, so I thought it was okay.
Chocolate magnate taught a lesson.
Chips Ahoy is Nabisco, right? It's a pretty old company. Mm-hmm. Who makes Famous Amos?
Amos.
Chris Hansen.
Who made Amos famous? This feels not right, but I'm gonna go with Famous Amos.
Did you come here expecting Famous Amos or Famous Anus with those wine coolers? We'll cut that. So,
you gotta commit to that. Come on.
There's no pause between Famous Anus. We will cut that joke.
I mean, I knew it was going well.
Did you come here for some world-renowned anus? Because you got me instead.
Okay, I'll say Famous Amos.
I'll zag. I'll say Chips Ahoy. Why not?
All right, Geiger once again with the correct logic. 1 point
Wow.
for Chips Ahoy and Geiger.
His correct logic was zagging.
Sometimes that's all the logic you need.
Famous Amos came first, right up until Chad chose it.
The Wikipedia page just magically morphed.
I butterfly affected it out of existence.
Amos actually never invented cookies because he was in jail for trying to solicit a minor.
Chips Ahoy, 1963. Famous Amos, 1975.
Oh, that's not that far. I'll go.
Yeah. All right, so we got Novak with 5, Geiger with 6. I got one more. Novak, let's see if you can tie it up. And then I do have a tiebreaker if we need to come to
I
that.
gotta take whatever Geiger does in here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last one in the regular round before the tiebreaker. Which came first, Skittles or Starburst?
Move.
All right, let me go
Well,
so you
let's let
guys
Chad
can
go
decide
first,
if you want to pick opposite of me or not. I feel like Starburst.
So I guess which one would require like more access to tools? I think. Did shell technology exist then?
My name is Ugg Hansen. Why did you bring those tools?
You brought one dead lizard and a scalpel. What did you think was going on here?
Why did you bring those wine toolers?
Your cave messages say otherwise.
We have the transcripts of these like stone tablets. It's a hieroglyphic of a guy fucking someone. Why did you send this chisel of your penis? Oh boy. Chrissy, I'm glad you were able to come for our last podcast ever. I will take...
You sent all those dirty smoke signals.
I will take...
Pick one.
Skittles. I'll take Skittles.
That wasn't smoke.
That means I'm taking Starburst.
Starburst, 1960. Skittles,
Yes!
1974.
Man. All right. Good job, Novak.
Way to go with me.
Good job. Good job.
Taking the opposite of me.
Let's hear that tiebreaker.
Yeah, so I guess we got a tie between Novak and Geiger, right? 6 each. That's what you got, Chad, too, since I'm shitty at
Chad, did you also get your score much less than
Actually, I have here that I got 13 and they both got 2. So
got
Carry
more
the
points
one.
than were available.
Okay, so for a tiebreaker, Chad, you can participate for fun. It's all right.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
it doesn't really count. Geiger and Novak.
I'll think about it.
Wow.
So I have chosen each of your signature snacks with a little bit of help from Chad. And whoever guesses closest to the year that their snack came out is the winner.
I can't wait to hear what my signature snack is. I don't even fucking know what it is.
So I've got one for Chad. I think we can all say in unison what Chad's signature snack is. 1, 2, 3.
Reese's
Cup.
There you go. Chad, you want to take a stab at it just for a consolation prize?
I think we actually talked about it one time on the podcast or something. It's like 1886 or something like that.
Yeah, not even close.
Okay. Fucking shit. God damn it.
Just slapped you down immediately and without remorse.
My favorite part about your snack, Chad, though, was not only could I find the year it came out, but actually the exact day, which I feel like is an important day for you to add to your calendar. So, Chad, for you, November 15th, 1928 was the birth of the Reese's Cup.
Really? That's old. That's older than I would have expected.
I knew it was old because Reese lived in like, the early 1900s or whatever, so.
Okay. Pre-duels.
There you go. Okay, so Mr. Chip, your snack to guess the exact day or the exact year, just the year that it came out, Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yeah, that's accurate. Oh, fuck.
And let you think.
So specifically Cool
think.
Ranch. Yeah.
You take a minute to think. And Novak, for you, your trademark snack, the handy snack.
I fucking
We are two shit humans, right?
Here's I definitely didn't give the handy snack even a love. I just didn't hate it as much as you guys.
You are a piece of shit.
I am. I know. Okay. Geiger, if you come up with the Cool Ranch Doritos, I feel like it's in our lifetime.
I think so too, and I think it's probably in the 80s somewhere. I'm just going to split the difference of the decade and say 1985.
Ooh, I feel like it was later than that.
Probably, but I'm not sure.
Handy snack I remember eating as a kid, but I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of started then. I'm also going to say 1985. Let's do this.
Oh, brothers.
Guys, we got a kink in the quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Both of your snacks came out in 1986.
Oh!
We were right on it. We're too good at this.
All right, guess the month and day.
We can try to guess the month, whoever's closer.
I don't have the month. Wikipedia is not that specific for y'all snacks. But maybe you want to check the Saukville Almanac, Geiger. Maybe you can determine the exact date of these snacks.
We didn't get them till 2012, I think. But,
Well, I guess it's inconclusive. We'll just have to go by my scorekeeping then here. So I win.
All right, let's eat the Super.
Good segment, Chrissy. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great.
Super 8 2.0 Manny.
Yeah, is it Super 8 Manny 2.0, Super 8 2.0 Manny, or Super Manny?
It says it on the
8
bottom.
2.0?
Look. It says it on the bottom of the package in order.
Super 8 2.0
Super Manny 2.0.
Mucho más placer.
Yeah, this one I just picked out completely at random because the other two I knew exactly what they were. So this one I picked to be the Wheel of Fortune. Just no idea.
It's like chocolate with like wafers and some peanuts, I think.
Peanuts?
Yep.
Is that peanuts on top?
Or peanut butter, yeah.
Oh, maybe. Is the word Manny, M-A-N-I, mean something in Spanish?
Manny Petty.
Yeah, Manos is hands.
The hands of fate.
I am not. I don't know because I am not anything like a Manny.
More like a milky shaky.
That's right. I ate 3 milkshakes.
In one day? Was it just 2 in a day?
Carl's Jr. and Jack in the Box back to back, like immediately back to back, and then the McDonald's was the next day.
Immediately.
Well, they're going to melt.
I mean, they were right across the street from each other, and like I just got them both. I had them both in the car in my 2 cup holder spots. You know.
Did you want to see which one is better? Is that why you got one from each?
Yeah, and I was really hungry. So I'm like, I don't know which one's better. I'll just get them both. And
Okay. This is a pretty sizable bar. Like we mentioned, long and flat, a couple of wafers in the middle. The outside's chocolate with what did seem like crisp rice to me at first, but then when you look at it from the cross section, I believe it is peanuts.
Yeah, I think it's wafer and peanut butter and different sort of permutations of the peanut. I don't think there's any crock rice in here.
It does say that it's a Nestle product. So, Chrissy, what do you think of the Super Manny 8 2.0?
Yeah, it's really peanutty in different textures. I do like the texture of it. It's a little bit crunchy, nice like bite into it. The chocolate's pretty like par for the course for a chocolate bar. Nothing exceptional or artisanal, but sort of middle of the road. I gotta say, like that. That's a solid chocolate bar. Like that.
I think this is the best of the day. This is the one I would for sure reach for. Now, we mentioned the Reese stick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the premier peanut butter wafer bar.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this is no Reese stick. Let's get that straight.
Right.
This is not in the same ballpark.
No.
But I actually think if they went a little heavier on the peanut butter, that this could have been a home run. I think it's like a slightly missed opportunity. Like the peanut butter flavor is there, and maybe it's not even peanut butter. Maybe it's just coming from the peanuts. Is where I'm getting it. It's not strong enough, but it's close. It's close to being excellent. As it is, it's just slightly lacking. I'm going to give it a second like that. And we are 2 ratings from a full agreement. Geiger, where are you?
I mean, it's tasty. It's not a love dat, I agree. And I think if there was stronger peanut butter flavor or peanut flavor, I would have done that. As it is, it's kind of more of a crunchy, chocolatey, sweet bar with not as much peanut. But it's good. I'm not trying to do it just for the sake of harmony, but it is a like that for me. I that's an honest opinion. So I don't know, Chad.
Right.
Put this thing in the shitter just to fuck us over here.
11 ratings up, complete agreement across the board here.
Mm-hmm.
Chad has already shown that today is not his day.
What the fuck? Coming at me.
Catching a stray there, yeah.
I'm putting the pressure on you so you don't fuck things up for the rest of us, okay? So,
You care
what do you
if
think?
everything is agreement. You give a shit about that. What Geiger, which one do you like better between the almonds and the this one, the super?
Oh, this one for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
easy.
Chrissy, you too?
I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, you think you might like the almonds better?
I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that for a while. I do love a wafer, so I do like the wafer quality of the chocolate bar.
Mm-hmm.
You got to answer now.
Yeah, I want an answer right now.
I suppose just for the McFlurry factor, then I'd go chocolate covered almonds.
Okay, we're not eating McFlurries today. So I this is a weird one because my first bite, my initial reaction here was actually dislike that because I thought that the wafer tasted like a little stale. You know, like comparing it to the Reese's stick, where that wafer is much crispier and crunchier than this one here. So this does, in a lot of ways, feel like a low rent Reese's stick. But like but I kept taking more bites, and it really grew on me. And like you get more of it. You really start to get that peanut flavor. I do wish it was crispier. I wish there was more peanut butter. I wish the chocolate was just a little bit better quality. You know, maybe that's because it's however many months old and flew halfway across the planet. But this is the kind of bar that this does have potential to be a love dat. It's a little disappointing to me in that respect, but it is still my favorite of the day. I am going to give it a like that.
All right.
Hey,
Another
wow.
welcome visitor. This is unheard of. These are all pretty good. You know, it's a pretty good selection. Much better
job,
than
Chrissy.
the Geiger sisters usually provide us with.
Wow, shots fired at Geiger's sister now.
Wow. Jesus.
All right, Geiger, where can listeners contact us?
If you have access to tools, if you hike, we talked about hiking, right? Did I forget that part? If you've ever had to shut up a random strange snorer, how did you do it?
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff, you can get a hold of us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We are on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We are on Twitter. Hashtag You Tried Dat. We're on Facebook. You Tried Dat group. Let us know what you think of the snacks we tried. Give us your own ratings. Suggest snacks for the podcast. Maybe ask a question we could discuss on the podcast, similar to Chrissy today. And as always, if you enjoy it, we'd love it if you could leave us a review and let all your friends and family know. That would be great. And as always, thank you for listening.
Okay, so we talked about people sleeping in the same room, making things difficult. Chrissy, does your partner have, what is the most annoying bed thing that your partner does that could possibly keep you up at night? Is there like a blanket hog, a kicking of your shins? Is there anything like that?
You just fart a lot.
I call it the fish flop. Like when a fish fall, like you're fishing in a lake and you drop the fish onto the pier, and you know how it flops on its side and then it flops on the other side and flops on the other side. I got the fish flop situation going in. So when he's waking up in the morning and he's trying to get comfortable again, it's taking the blankets and doing the fish flop. That is no question the fish flop.
Guys, do your spouses have something that sticks out?
I think I kind of do that. I definitely like pull the blanket. Like I am a bit of a blanket hog in that respect, and I think it's because I'm just turning from side to side, like back and forth, because I can't sleep on my back. It like hurts me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I most nights just fall asleep on the couch downstairs, so I really don't know. But I think I know the times we have shared the bed. She does like to like snuggle and stuff, which is nice for a little bit. I'm not upset that my wife wants to touch me. Let's be clear, but you
want to hit it and quit it, though.
I just want to get in, get out. I just want to short my hot dog for inspiration. But the thing is,
it's hard to cuddle with her when you're already cuddling with your real doll.
Right, there's not enough room, and like the motors on the real doll are so loud. I got an old one. It's like, wah! I got rust. It's all rusty. No,
your real doll predates tools.
It's just a series of pulleys and levers
made of straw.
It's a giant mannequin. Just I just don't like being touched at all while I'm trying to sleep. So I think that's any sort of physical contact bothers me. But like I said, once I'm asleep, I don't really notice anything. I'm probably the problematic one in the bed with my snoring and my general not moving at all. Novak, how about you?
Mine's like I'll already be in bed, and then she comes and she'll say, "Don't you feel the like wrinkles in this sheet? Like how how the sheet comes off a little bit and then it bunches out." And she's like, "Get up so I can straighten this out." And I say, "No, I could just sleep. I very easily could just sleep anyway. I could have slept in the room with snoring guy, literally." Anywhere I could fall asleep. So for me, I don't get the like Princess and the Peach factor. Princess and the Peep. Princess and the Peach.
The old fucking the Peach factor. James and the Giant's Peach factor.
I saw Chrissy, you're shaking your head. You can't do with like a wrinkled sheet or a pilling sheet or anything like that?
No, I can handle all of that, but I don't think you all understand the sound and the volume of this man's snoring. I think you are vastly underplaying what it is like to sleep in a room with somebody snoring extremely loudly. I had earplugs. I had it all.
How close was he to you?
We were toe to toe in bunk beds. We were both in the top bunk, toe to toe.
You could have given him a little tickle with your toenails there. Play a little footsie. Maybe that'll
see. This is why I came to you all for creative solutions, because that's a great one.
Yeah. The other thing my wife will do is wait till I get in bed, get all settled in, and then she'll be like, "Oh, can you go close that window?" I'm like, "I was literally standing not 30 seconds ago. You waited till I got comfortable and then tasked me with something." So then I just tickle her feet with my toenails and she shuts up. My talon-like gnarled troll feet.
My problem is that my wife is a dinosaur with a laser. So she crawls in bed and she's a fucking dinosaur and she's shooting her laser everywhere. Do you want to end the episode or what?
Yeah. All right. Well, Chrissy, thanks so much for coming in back. We're always so happy to see you.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
Chrissy.
good to see you guys. It was fun.
All right, that'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new seeds.
Deuces.
Yep.